wrong thing, and then you get confused and you spread the whole thing like some sort of infection. You just infect it with others and draw others into the same situation. Because it's a generation that we are living in. We are human, we are tied together, we are linked together. If somebody gets some disease or cough or whatever, you can see how normally it spreads. It will go like that because that person sneezed, or maybe he did that, and you are in the bath and you touch that and you don't know, and it's not intentional. But we can pass on things to each other without knowing. We are a generation, a whole race of people, and we easily have that link together, because we share the bond, some means of occupations that helps us to live together. That is how it makes us survive. The way the other person is fishing, the other person is farming, the other person is doing something else, and all those activities bring together, bond us together, somehow be able to get all the varieties that we seek in our life. If you put the food on the table, it didn't come from just one source. It came from a variety of sources, all by the hand of people who had taken that occupation to make that possible. So in the life that we are in, if you realize that, if you know, people know this, but they never applied it, if you know that something which is negative joins with positive can give you bad results, and I examine your life and you realize that obviously things are very much not so positive as you think it should be. You realize that, I've been calling on God, He doesn't answer me. I've been doing that. In my situation, that is what it is. Because if I was supposed to call on God right now, Allah or Jehovah, and I don't hear from Him, I don't answer for Him, I know, I have examined myself. The answer is obvious. That the negativity is still there, and that is what is producing the negative answer. Whether the negative is part of I have some positive and good things about me, it doesn't matter how huge the good things about me is, or how small the negative things about me is, the bad things about me is. As long as there's negative and positive, there's negativity, there's positivity, you realize that your results will always come out as negative. It will not come out as negative and positive. It will come out as negative. And if this is the situation, if we know this, then we should not be surprised the situation we are in. That is what I want you and I to admit to. That I am admitting that I do have my negative things, the negativities. I do admit to my good things, even though I make my good ways outweigh my bad things. It does not mean that there is no negativity. As long as I have not been able to eradicate every negative things in my life, which is very much sometimes very, very, very impossible. You only can tame the negative things. You can tame it, but you cannot eradicate it entirely. It is the house of God to do that. But if you're able to make your good outweigh your bad, you have a better chance. But even that, you will not get the answers. You will not get the positive answers. The answers will always come out. Because you will feel and know, you will see the presence of the negative answer. You will see it in your life. If you want to sort of conjure something from heaven or ask God to reach you, the positive God, it won't happen. It won't happen. You will call on God and whatever and do whatever your worship is going to be. It will not happen as you would expect it. We will normally use excuses of time and all that, but even if we say time, and over the time you look at it, you realize that the manna that you request is not coming, did not fall from heaven straight into your lap. You either chose to use the works, and the works were not even in a positive way, according to even the faith that you have. And what works am I talking about? Either you lied, or you somehow deceptively put yourself into certain situation. Either you did something, that wasn't necessarily something which is approvable by your own faith in order to attain the very thing that you prayed to get. Or someone did it for you to have what you have got, which is the same. If I go to commit whatever for you to get something, for you to then have the privilege to say that, God has given me what I asked for. How stupid are you trying to be here? And if that person who did it realized that you are saying that, and he's a very smart person, he realized that that's a silly thing that he did, He has given you a false belief, making you think that God has made you brother thing. The means by which you acquired it and gave it to her is what she must consider. Normally, they don't consider that. The church will put down a cup, or let's say a basket, receiving what, money or something from people. Now, do they consider the means that those things were acquired? No, they don't. As long as the money coming in, all the money circulating and whatever, people get it. You can imagine what people do. Meanwhile, the same faith that is condemning these things is now, when it comes to the receiving and receives it, and use the word sanctification, it is sanctified now, so it is okay for us to have. But that is not what we are caring about. The means and those who carry out the means is what we have to care about. The people, the person, the soul that has volunteered or has ended up doing that. Is that soul that came into that place to pray. It is that person who went out to pray to God and ask for some change in his life. And he didn't get it directly from God. So he chose those means. Or even if he did not choose the means, through those means, his answer, or he has got the answers. And the answers that he has got, it is not the right thing. Now, it is you and I, or anybody who knows or has come to realize the truth, is supposed to point to the person that, hey, no. If you really want answer from God, from the true and the positive God, the only answer you get, the evidential answer you get, it does fall from your lap. There won't be any dirty hands touching it. It won't come through the means of somebody walking into your house and say that. It will come through the very place that you were looking and making the request. If you are looking up and you are making the request, it will fall from up to you. It will not come from anywhere. But this is something it is not realistically applicable in everyday life. You will not pray that, God, I want to eat Chinese food today. Or let's say I want to eat fufu today. And then fufu will fall from heaven and fall on your lap, like the movies we watch on what do you call it? Sinbad the Sailor, the magician action where it falls. But that should have been the case. But if it comes through any man or any person, if you have the ability to find out how that person got that thing, and it is obvious how we get things. All the things that circulate around us come from one person to the other. The money that I may hold today has come through so many means that if I have a Christian faith or Islam or a Muslim faith or Buddhist faith, I have objected to those actions that those people took, that these things have passed through and ended up in my hand. The fact that I'm not aware of it does not mean that the money did not pass through those places. And so if I'm aware of it and I have this faith that I read about the Bible, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not do that, thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not do that. I have all these things there. And through these means, I have got those things. Then it is for my own conscience sake. I'll have to, voluntarily say that, hey, I can't touch money. If you become religious, you probably don't even have to touch money or even touch. I don't know how you live if you choose to become so religious, or because if you look at if you become so Islamic or you want to be a Christian, I don't think how you will live. You would then virtually have to, probably find a location in Mars or somewhere and live alone there. You have to. That is what get people. There are some people who, when they become religious, they decide to find some confined area, some isolation. They isolate themselves. It happens most of the time. We have so many instances of this nature. People drifting to another place to settle because they want to go out of the world. They can't take the world anymore. Money is evil to them, or money can be touched, or that person can, and you become so isolated. You keep yourself out of that situation. This is something which is happening. This is something which is real. I don't have to tell you. You can figure out yourself, But whatever we do, as I said, it says you can't even read the Quran and say you can't touch it. And I asked myself, I explained it. How is it going to be possible that I won't be able to touch this book? The person who even sold it is not even supposed to touch it. The person who is